All right. We'll call the April 4th meeting of the Lincoln Park City Council to order. If everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, which will be immediately followed by the invocation by Louis Montgomery of the Lincoln Park Church of Christ. Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here?
That's fine, sir.
Let us pray together. Our wonderful and gracious Father, we're so thankful for giving us this opportunity to assemble once again in this council meeting to take care of the business of this community. We pray for those who have been elected and who are sitting around these tables to give them the wisdom to make the judgments that are the most productive for this community, and the decisions that they make will be one that's acceptable in your sight. To God, we know around this country and around the world there are challenges that are being met and being fought, and we pray for the countries that are in conflict, and we pray that peace can be brought soon to these conflicts. Dear God, we're so thankful that you've given us this opportunity to come together as a community to discuss the issues that confront us, and we pray that always that the words of our hearts and the things that are in our mind will be acceptable in your sight. As always, dear God, we pray for unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. In your Son, Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Reverend. We appreciate that. You get a roll call, please.
Councilpersons Dupre? Here. Higgins?
Here.
Kelsey?
Here.
Ross? Here. Salcido?
Here.
Tobin?
Here.
And Mayor Carnes.
Here. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Enjoying your nice spring weather? Which is, last week was spring break here, and I can't remember the weather being as bad as it was during that week. It caused me to get some stuff done at the house, and that's not good. So we have, some of you may have noticed a little bit of a blue hue around the City Hall buildings, and some pinwheels are on the ground. That has to do with April being Child Abuse Prevention Month, and everyone is asked to display blue, wear blue, to draw attention to the prevention of child abuse. Councilwoman Tobin was busy on that. I haven't seen the lights put up. I look forward to that at the end of tonight's meeting to see that. But if you could put a blue porch light on, or just wear something blue on Monday, that could also show your approach for that. It's also Autism Awareness Month. And so with that, I think autism awareness usually is pieces of a puzzle that is put together. That design has been put together as a police badge, a police patch, and that Chief Waters has them on sale over at the police department for $15 a piece, I believe. It's a very nice patch. So just stop into the police department if you feel the need. Again, the same patch that they did last year, but it's a higher quality one. It's very nice. And thanks to the police department for doing that. At our last meeting, we spoke about the situation between GWLA, the water, and Highland Park not paying for that. In between here and there, the Downriver Community Conference has put a resolution forward asking the state to intervene in that so that we could not have to pay Highland Park's bills. I don't see any different way of putting it. I'm working on a resolution for our own, but that will be coming forward at the next meeting, which would be the 18th?
Yep.
18th, okay. And then lastly, I have, Don, I don't know if you can get in on this for me? Left turn, right turn, come on. Well, what this is that it's a Pride and Property Award. It is something that the Community Improvement Commission gives out to either residents or a business. And in this case, a business has been awarded this. It's Pet Care Clinic at 1067 Southfield Road, for the way that they take care of their property and present things. If you have, somebody has a business or a resident that think really deserves this type of an award also, just email me at mayor@citylp.com and I'll bring it to the attention of the commission. But I'll be taking this to the Pet Care Clinic tomorrow to give them their award. Thanks for the Community Improvement Commission for doing that. And with this point, I will then move on to the consent agenda. We can wait. Resolved that the following items listed in the consent agenda be approved as presented to the mayor and city council. 1, approved minutes, regular meeting held March 21, 2022. 2, approved minutes, special meeting, closed meeting, or collective bargaining agreements held March 21, 2022. 3, approved minutes, special meeting, RRC program held March 28, 2022. 4, proclaim Arbor Day. 5, solicit bids, KMB boiler. 6, study session, animal shelter. 7, approve residential rehab loan.
I'll move.
Support.
And I'd like number 4 to be brought down to the action items. Yes, I think that should be read, so out to everybody. Okay, is there further discussion? Then clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Ross?
Yes.
Tobin?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Higgins?
Yes.
Kelsey?
I have to abstain for
No.
number 3, but the rest of them are fine. I wasn't here.
Salcido?
Yes.
And Mayor Carnes.
Yes. Okay, set that aside.
Thank you.
First action item has a cover letter from James Krzan, our city manager. In background, a public hearing was held on Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022, to hear requests on the 48th Community Development Block Grant budget and receive public comment. It is necessary to adopt the budget so the annual action plan can be submitted to HUD. Normally, the annual action plan would be submitted by May 1. However, once the draft is complete, it must be posted for public comment for 30 days. If you'd like to change the proposed budget, it can be done on the floor. The allocation is based on last year's amount, as new figures have not come out yet. However, should the allocation be lower than last year's, the difference will be taken out of streets and utilities. So resolved that the following proposed budget is hereby adopted for the 48th program year of the Community Development Block Grant Program beginning July 1, 2022. Administration and Planning, $100,000. Under Public Services, Blessed Hope Food Pantry, $25,000. First Step Domestic Violence, $10,000. The Guidance Center, $10,000. The Police Department cameras, $40,000. The Senior Alliance, $3,201. Infrastructure projects, community building rental rehab, $80,000. Residential rehab, $0. but in the notes, plus projected rehab revolving fund income of $60,000. Housing stock improvement is 0, with then projected housing stock revolving fund income as $120,000. Sewer lateral rehabilitation, $90,000. Streets and utilities, $455,232, for a total of $815,433. Be further resolved, if the HUD allocation is more or less, streets and utilities will be adjusted accordingly.
I'll move.
Support.
Good. Discussion? I'll start off with that the figures that were here initially were by the Community Improvement Commission at their meeting. The Community Improvement Commission is the group that provides public input to set aside the budget. Further discussion?
Through the chair, if I may.
Yes, sir.
I see by this that James is actually helping out do the CDBG director's budget, basically, or the, if you want to call it, the stuff for the Wayne County we get, the money we get for the low income. Was there any problems in doing that? I know that's, I don't know if you've done that before or whatever, but...
We're making it work. It's, of course, it's not easy to be,
Right. yeah.
doing it. We're spread thin,
Yeah,
absolutely, but we're working pretty well and getting through.
Okay, thank you, that's all, I just want to make sure, because, yeah.
We do have the CDBG coordinator position posted, so
Oh, okay.
if you know people who are looking who might be interested, please refer them our way.
Thank you, James, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything further? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Ross?
Yes.
Higgins?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Kelsey?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
Tobin?
Yes.
And Mayor Carnes.
Yes. Next item also is from our city manager. And in background, on February 7, 2022, the mayor and council approved the restructuring plan for the CDBG and Parks and Recreation. The city manager was directed to move forward with the filling of the necessary positions. Fill the position of Parks and Recreation Director, the city needs to reestablish the position and define the terms and conditions of employment. To do this, the city will enter into a letter of agreement with the Administrators Association. There are two resolutions for consideration. Okay. I think that we'll just move on to the first here. Then be it resolved that the mayor and council approve the letter of agreement with the Lincoln Park Administrators Association and set the annual salary for Parks and Recreation Director at $60,000.
So move.
Support.
Okay, discussion?
Through the chair, if I may, to
Yes.
the city manager, I guess, because you're kind of handling both the Parks Director and the CDBG position. My understanding is that the CDBG is going to be a manager's position. I mean, I'm talking about this, but I'm just wondering, because both of these used to be directors, I guess is what I'm saying. Mr. Cook, I think, was a director of CDBG, and then Doreen, I think, did the Parks and Rec. And now we're going to make the Parks and Rec separate, which we agreed to, as in the director's thing, but where's the CDBG going to fall? Is that going to be a director, or is that going to
So
be?
the CDBG coordinator position will be a sub-department head level position that eventually will report to the city planner, as we talked about, I think it was back in January, when we talked about the restructuring plan. The plan was to bring an in-house planner
Right.
who would have some of the CDBG director level responsibilities.
Okay. I'm just curious because everything gets changed around. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Through the chair.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just noting that, the salary, it doesn't say anything about his benefits. Is that a separate agreement with us, or,
That's part of the Administrators Association agreement.
so that's not this agreement?
That wouldn't be this. The letter of agreement puts the position into the Administrators Association.
Okay.
It reestablishes it for that.
Okay, and also, I was under the understanding that he was going to receive retro pay from February 7th.
Yeah, that would be,
An agreement
yep,
also.
that would be the plan.
And do we see that agreement?
You've got the letter of agreement.
Okay, but I don't see it mentioned in there. It just says it's wages, it doesn't say anything about the benefits or the retro pay.
You may want to do that when you officially name. You could add that as an amendment to the resolution to name. That would make sense.
Okay, thank you.
Further discussion? Clerk call the roll.
Councilpersons Higgins,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Salcido.
Yes.
Tobin.
Yes.
And Mayor Carnes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, and then we're moving on to the pools? No, I'm just
Negative.
Sorry. Just, be resolved that the mayor and council hereby name Dennis Anderson as the Parks and Recreation Director for the city of Lincoln Park.
So move.
Support
Discussion?
through the chair. I'd like to amend that to include his health benefits and retro pay from February 7th.
Support.
Is that okay with both the mover and the supporter? Then we don't have
The
to...
initial one?
Okay.
The second part.
To-
right? That's
to
where you
add
said
that-
you amend it?
Yeah, and this is where you would want to add the retro
Right,
pay back
right.
to
I just wanted to make sure it
February
was okay
7th.
with the mover first, because then we don't have to do the actual formal amendment. We'll just add it in there and vote on it like that. Okay.
Okay, no further discussion? The clerk call the roll?
Councilpersons Dupre,
Yes.
Tobin,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Salcido.
Yes.
And Mayor Carnes.
Yes. Welcome, Dennis. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
All right. Next item has a cover letter from Dennis Anderson, our Director of Parks and Recreation.
That was fast.
He's not acting anymore. So on March 7, the City Council authorized the Department of Parks and Recreation to solicit bids from qualified companies to provide demolition services for the removal of the public swimming pool at the community center and the wading pool at Pond Park. 10 companies submitted bids. The bids were reviewed by the Parks and Recreation and Building Department staff. The committee found that Universal Consolidated Enterprise Incorporated has met all the requirements and provided the best lowest bid. The bids were Crown Contracting Industrial Incorporated, Dearborn Heights, $19,900. Universal Consolidated Enterprise Incorporated, Rochester, Michigan, $39,369. Berkshire, Dearborn, Michigan, $39,716. Thomas Trucking Services Incorporated, Brownsville, Michigan, $40,000. Simply Construction and Excavating LLC, Franklin, Michigan, $40,667. Adamo Group Incorporated, Detroit, Michigan, $76,860. International Construction Incorporated, Shelby Township, Michigan, $84,900. L. O'Laughlin LLC, Perrysburg, Ohio, $88,100. Macmillan Group Incorporated, Detroit, Michigan, $104,940. And Blue Star Incorporated, Warren, Michigan, $108,700. So the resolution is resolved that Universal Consolidated Enterprise Incorporated be awarded the bid to demolish the public swimming pool at the community center and the wading pool at Pond Park with a price not to exceed $39,369. Funds to come from the American Rescue Plan Act funds.
I'll move.
I'll support.
So in discussion, Dennis, if so the obvious question is that, I mean, our low bidder came in at 19 and change, and the next bidder is double that. There has to be reasons behind that, so.
Correct. After discussion with John Myers and myself and Austin Carroll, Crown Construction didn't provide us with any bond or insurance paperwork, and we had issues with why were they almost half the cost of the next four above them. So, and
I'm sorry, with the bond and the insurance, were those requirements of the bond submission?
yes,
Or the bid submission?
yep.
So in essence, they weren't qualified for it?
Correct.
Okay.
And the second one, which was consolidated, they provided references. I contacted all three of the references. They had nothing but good reviews. Dearborn used them last year for 3 pool removals, and they went above and beyond what they asked them to do, so.
Okay. Further discussion?
Through the chair, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Dennis, what are they going to do, after they take the stuff out, are they going to backfill it and put grass in there, or do you know?
Both pools will be completely removed, all the pertaining, the structures around them, pump houses, the slide, anything like that. And then it'll be backfilled with clean backfill. The top 6 to 10 inches, I believe it said, will be clean topsoil. Then it'll be seeded and strawed.
Okay, are we going to, through the chair, are we going to take the fence down that's around the area then by the community center, or just leave that up?
There's a couple of spots that just need to be repaired on that fence. We're going to keep it up for right now. That way we have some kind of a maintenance yard to keep the tables and stuff in there secured during the winter and whatnot.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Anything further? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Ross?
Yes.
Tobin?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Higgins?
A sad yes.
Kelsey?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
And Mayor Carnes.
Yes. Next item has a cover letter from John Kasu, our DPS director. On February 22nd, 2022, Mayor and Council accepted the Drinking Water Asset Management Plan Grant from the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy in the amount of $562,637. Hennessy Engineers is requesting authorization to prepare contract documents and solicit bids for the water service lead verification. And from Hennessy Engineers, City Council approved the resolution. The grant will cover the costs for all the DWAM program, including updating the City of Lincoln Park's asset management plan for the city's water system, as well as the cost therein. We verify the city's water services material type. The grant amount is not to exceed costs of $562,637, and listed below is a breakdown of the cost of the grant allocation. Updating the water system asset management plan and grant administration, $168,887. Physical verification of 375 water services. Hydrovacuum water surfaces, bid out to a contractor, $322,534. Inspection services, $35,608. Verifying water service in a house at the meter, $35,608. So be resolved that the mayor and city council authorize Hennessy Engineers Incorporated to prepare contract documents and solicit bids for hydrovacuum water services on behalf of the city of Lincoln Park.
So move.
Support.
Discussion? Okay. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Higgins?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Kelsey?
Yes.
Salcido? Tobin?
Yes.
And Mayor Carnes.
Yes. Next, we have Resolved that an ordinance to amend Part 2, Title 8 of the codified ordinances of the City of Lincoln Park by repealing and replacing Section .01A of Chapter 270 entitled Community Improvement Commission be given its third and final reading and be adopted. The City of Lincoln Park ordains that Part 2 of the codified ordinance for the City of Lincoln Park, Title 8, Chapter 270, Section .01A, entitled Community Improvement Commission, be and is hereby amended by repealing and replacing the entire section as follows. So 270.01, composition, terms of office. A, the commission shall be composed of 7 electors of the city. The mayor shall be a member of the commission. Each new member of the commission shall be appointed for 3 years, plus maintaining the staggered terms as previously established. Vacancies in all commissions shall be filled by appointment of the council for the remainder of that term. All terms shall expire May 1 of the particular year in question.
So move.
Support.
Discussion?
Through the chair, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Just a quick question. How long before we actually see this on our ordinances on that website?
We do a codification approximately every 6 months, but I was waiting for this one to go through tonight. I have one ready to go in, so it should probably be another month or so before it actually shows up on the page on the website, along with everything else that's been done in the last 6 months.
Okay, thank you.
Further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Higgins,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
Tobin,
Yes.
and Mayor Carnes.
Yes. Next item has a cover letter from Scott Lewis, our acting fire chief. In background, the fire department is currently short-staffed by 3 positions. With looming retirements coming after July 1 of this year, we will be even more short-staffed. We have had vacancies that we've not been able to fill for many months now. Part of the reason for not being able to fill the vacancies is that it's difficult to find candidates with both a paramedic license and their fire academy training completed. The city has 2 options for hiring. The first alternative is hiring a firefighter with basic EMT certifications. This is not a very good option because it would cause us at some point to not have enough paramedics to staff our apparatus. We would eventually have to downgrade our medical service and not provide the advanced life-saving services that made a difference in patient care. The second option is to hire paramedics and offer to sponsor them in the fire academy. To do this, we would have the candidates sign an employment agreement that would indicate they're expected to complete at least 2 years of service with the city, or they would be responsible for repaying the cost of the academy, just as the police department's program. We believe that this will help us with a viable choice for a new swath of new candidates and a potential to get much-needed paramedics. So, the resolution would be it resolved that approval be granted to send firefighter paramedics hired without firefighter 1 or firefighter 2 to an accredited fire academy. The cost of each firefighter attending the fire academy would be $4,405. The employee would be hired and then moved to a 40-hour work week while going through the academy, which lasts 9 weeks. The funds to come from account number 101-340-960.
I'll move.
I'll support.
I have a question too, Your Honor.
Yeah, I have a question also. So they'll be on the payroll.
They will. They'll be on the payroll. The academy doesn't start till August. One academy starts in August, another one starts in September. They would be on the payroll, but they could serve as paramedics on our units, which is what we need right now. We would train them in firefighting, but they would not be allowed to go into a fire. Once they have their firefighter 1 and 2, they'll be able to go into a fire, and they'll be full-fledged employees.
That isn't the union conflict, association conflict in any way?
No, I brought the union president over, and we discussed it with the city manager, and there's no conflict there. No.
Okay. So, James, you're supportive of this also?
Yeah, absolutely. We need to be getting creative here.
Through the
Okay.
chair.
Councilwoman Ross, you were first.
Thank you. I was curious if this is going to only cover the first 3 eligible candidates, being that there's only 3 is it 3 openings right now?
Yeah, right now there's 3 openings. We do have pending retirements. I'm not sure exactly.
We have one for sure retiring in July, and possibly a second, and so that could be 5 at some point. I'd like it to be more than just the 3. We don't necessarily have to send everybody to the academy. If I can get a paramedic firefighter already trained, we'll hire him first. But we've had positions open for, 2 positions have been open for 6 months. 1 position had been open for over a year. And now we're at 3 positions since Chief Steve Martin retired. So, and I had 1 candidate come in with a paramedic license and firefighter 1 and 2, but I don't know if he can pass a physical agility test. He hasn't taken one yet. So, but we're going to be looking into him more. So,
And part of the purpose of this tonight was to get approval for the program, and then we'll bring back candidates when it's time. Similar to how we're doing with the police academy, how they bring
Perfect.
back
Okay.
Yep.
the police officers when they have somebody they want to move forward with.
Okay.
yeah.
Through the chair.
Councilman Higgins.
My question was, you said you would be letting them work with you as paramedics before that, but not on the fire for their training?
They would respond to a fire with us, but we would not allow them to go into a fire.
Okay.
They would be, there's jobs outside of the fire that they can assist with, like hooking up for water, pulling hose, breaking.
Outside the fire.
Outside the fire, yeah.
My question is, then will there 2 years requirement for working for the city, will that counted towards them or not until they are fully firemen?
The 2 years is, I believe, to cover the cost of the academy if they leave within the 2 years. So there's an incentive for them to stay, where they don't just come and get their training and bounce out of here to somewhere else. Did I understand? I don't know if I understood your question
No,
correctly.
what I want to know is, their time for working for the city, does that count before they get their full training, or?
That's something we'd have to think about and decide and put it in writing at some point. Yeah.
I'd like to know when you decide that.
I mean, we can decide it right now if you like.
Yeah, so that would likely be part of each employment agreement with the candidates, but essentially it would make sense that their time, that 2-year time would start from the minute they've started the academy.
I would suggest graduated the academy.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
Open up graduate too.
And that works too.
We're open.
And with that direction, we can move forward then,
Yeah.
when we do the employment agreements.
Were you set, sir?
Yeah, I'm set, thank you.
Okay, further discussion?
Just a question for the chief, and I
Yep.
think this is probably something already done, but the paramedics we hire, they're advanced life support, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes, that is correct. And if we didn't maintain paramedics, we would have to drop our service down to where we could not provide, we couldn't administer drugs. We couldn't, there are some cardiac things that we couldn't do with the monitor. But yeah, so the service would drop.
Well, through the mayor to the chief, I've been in receiving end, unfortunately, a couple of times, so that's why I asked the
Yeah.
question. 'Cause,
Yes.
You know, it's important for not only me, but everybody, because
Yep.
you're never important for anybody unless you need the service, and then all of a sudden, you're very happy to have it.
And about 80% don't need that service, but when that 20% do, it's there.
I'm fine.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mayor.
Further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Ross?
Yes.
Tobin?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Higgins?
Yes.
Kelsey?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
And Mayor Carnes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next item has been moved by Councilwoman Tobin and supported by Councilman Higgins. Whereas Kona Ice wishes to offer the residents of Lincoln Park a free Kona Ice Day, be it resolved that the mayor and council hereby establishes April 18, 2022 as the date for a free Kona Ice in the parking lot adjacent to the fire station on Cleophas in the city of Lincoln Park, hours to be determined. Be it further resolved that Kona Ice may obtain the permission without paying a fee. So we'll go into discussion then. We're talking about the parking lot that enters off of, what's that, Philomene, right?
I mean,
Yes.
Philomene and Fort Park.
Okay, so it's not the one in between the fire department and the police station, so, okay.
If I can, Kona Ice contacted me. As you know, they come to a lot of the events in the city, and they sell Kona Ice there. And they contacted me and said that they wanted to get back to the community, and could I help arrange for them to do a free day. And I thought it would be a good idea to put it in that area. That way, the fire, the police, the courts, city hall, library, and even the kids coming back from school can all grab a free Kona Ice. And I'm very grateful for them to offering this to us.
Through the chair?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Very nice.
Yeah.
I know, I like it. I just have a question. Would they still be required to file with the city clerk and like get at least a one-day certificate?
This is it, we're without paying the fee. I will turn into the clerk all their paperwork, their
Yes, that's
licensing,
what I
and
wanna make sure.
their fire testing and all that will be in the
Food and
clerk's office.
safety
Yeah. Mhm. Yep,
certificates
all that
and-
will be done.
Okay.
So it'd be like a food truck, is that what?
It's like a really big ice cream truck, but it's got the shaved ice and the flavors and all that stuff. And it's kind of neat. Think spring, everybody.
Hopefully it'll be warm.
A further discussion, anybody? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Tobin,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
and Mayor Carnes.
Yes. Now we have resolution pulled from the consent agreement. Whereas the City of Lincoln Park has been recognized as a Tree City USA by the National Arbor Day Foundation and desires to continue to be recognized as such. And in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees, and this holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. And an Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. And whereas a healthy environment is the cornerstone of a thriving community, and vigorous local economy and state and local communities can lead the way in taking steps to protect and preserve our natural resources by encouraging the planting and maintenance of trees, along with the encouraging the protection of our vital natural resources. Whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce life-giving oxygen, and provide a habitat for wildlife. And trees are a renewable resource, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fire, beautify our community, and trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Lincoln Park Mayor and Council do hereby proclaim April 29, 2022 as Arbor Day in the city of Lincoln Park, and urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands.
I'll move.
Support.
Okay, clerk call the roll.
Councilpersons Ross,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Salcido.
Yes.
Tobin.
Yes.
And Mayor Carnes.
Yes. So we have a miscellaneous. That is, whereas the mayor and city council scheduled a special meeting for Monday, May 9, 2022, to establish direction and goals for the city. Whereas scheduling conflicts have occurred which require a date change. Be resolved that the special meeting to discuss direction and goals for the city be rescheduled for Tuesday, April 19, 2022, at 5:30 PM in the Community Policing Building, 1394 Cleophas, Lincoln Park, Michigan.
So moved.
Support.
Okay,
Support.
discussion?
Question through the chair to the city, question to the chair to the city manager. Did we already approve the contract for this individual coming in?
did.
We did?
Yep.
My bad. Thank you.
Further discussion?
Is this the one that we were talking about moving to December?
This was when we were originally scheduling it. There was a debate whether having it prior to the election made sense or waiting until December. The direction was, the consensus vote was to have it before the election, to get it done as soon as we could. There was a schedule conflict that came up with the facilitator, but he had a cancellation, so we actually were able to move it up early.
Further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Kelsey?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Higgins?
Yes.
Salcido?
No.
Tobin?
No.
And Mayor Carnes.
Yes. Okay, we have accounts and claims payable. The first item has been the check release for the due date, which would be Blue Cross. So resolved that the accounts and claims payable for those items greater than $25,000 to be approved as follows. Blue Cross Blue Shield, March 2022 retiree med advid plans and retiree inactives, $167,847.90. Hennessy Engineers, Utility Repair Program, Meyer Flow and Pressure Investigation, North Shore Sewer Repair, Dick's Car Wash, River Drive Recon, Ford Boulevard, Emmons Avenue, Taco Bell, General Consulting, Water Loss Leak Study, Bridge Inspections, Emergency Water and Sewer Repair, Sanitary Sewer Lining Project, 2021 Concrete Reconstruction, Lead Service Replacement, Emmons and Lincoln Pump Station Design, SRF Sanitary Sewer Rehab, Asphalt Resurfacing, 2022 Concrete Sectioning Program, $171,418.18. MERS, March 2022 Defined Benefit, $246,097. Truist Govern, Road Bonds Principal and Interest Loan, $706,250.
I'll move. Support.
Okay, discussion?
Question, if I may. The Clark Hill PLC, I know they're doing the marijuana lawsuits. Are we almost done with that?
Still up in the Court of Appeals, sorry.
Okay, all right, because I see we're still paying, that's why I asked. I didn't know how long this is going to drag on, being that both of them already open. Am I correct?
I think they're cases like that old Cheech and Chong movie, Up in Smoke, but we're still up there, so.
All right, thanks. We should have you litigate it, Ed. Thank you, Ronner. Thank you, James.
Like drug tests, yeah.
Further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Kelsey?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Higgins?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
Tobin?
Yes.
And Mayor Carnes.
Yes. Next, we have our city manager's report, Mr. Grzan.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. To start, as I'm trying to make it a tradition, I'm going to recognize those who are having milestone anniversaries this month. This month in the DPS, we have Chris Ramon celebrating his one-year anniversary with the city. In the police department, we have Nicholas Kozmalski, who is hitting his first year, and then Thomas Timmis and Anthony Koopser. I think I got it right that time. They are both celebrating their 5-year anniversaries, so congratulations to them. If you happen to run across any of them, let them know that we're all thinking of them. This weekend, I was thinking we were starting to move into spring, but, it's a little bit of a trick on us. But we had a couple guys from our DPS go out to do some alley evaluations. This is another one of our ARPA projects. So we're going to sit down this week and go over the findings of the alley evaluations and kind of start putting together a plan for this year. So that's moving forward. Quick update on yard waste collection. This is the week that we begin, so you'll start to see the yard waste out there. It's the first week, so I'm sure we're going to have some hiccups, but hopefully not too many. Other things coming up, we're continuing to push forward with the collective bargaining process and the labor relations here. We should hopefully have some good information coming your way very soon. We're meeting this week with all 3 general units and starting some informal discussions with fire. So that'll keep pushing us forward. And then lastly, just kind of echoing on the mayor's comments about Child Abuse Prevention Month. Most of you probably know, but I did spend the first several years of my professional career working in child welfare, so it is a cause that I feel pretty strongly about. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions anybody may have.
Through the chair, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Yes, James, I did notice the alley off of New York and Fort Street was done. Was that the DPS? Did we clean that up?
If they did, I'm just finding out about it now. They weren't actually cleaning this weekend. They were just actually evaluating. They had a form and a checklist and kind of noting what issues were there. Maybe there was just enough that they got out and went a little above and beyond.
All right, I noticed it last Saturday, so I don't know if the homeowner did or we did. That's what I just wanted to know. So
Yeah,
I'll find
I'm
out.
unaware.
Thank you. Looks nice. So.
Through the chair. James, is there a plan in place to keep up on the alleys once it's all done?
That will be the follow-up for sure. Yeah, we're going to have to put a plan in place. We're going to have to find...
Because we're going to end up right back where we were if it's not followed through with all of that.
Absolutely. And some of the, as far as the overgrowth and all of that goes, this time with the grounds maintenance contract, we did put that into the bid specs. And so we do have a quoted price for maintenance on alleys. And not that it's set up to be a routine thing, but it is set up there for when we have remedial stuff we need to do, when we have an alley that's getting overgrown. I'm thinking specifically of the one at about Dixon Emmons that has routinely gotten away from us, right? That's one we're going to keep our eyes on more.
Along I-75 down by Richmond area, that area, the roadway there, is that part of the grounds contract? The grass that goes against the wall on 75?
I'll have to look and see.
Because I'm getting complaints about that, and then the garbage and the leaves were never cleaned up. There was an old pole that's been down laying there for over
So
a year.
are you talking about in the Forest Park right there?
Yeah. right in that
Okay.
area.
Yeah, that
I'll
one's
send you
on
a video of it and
Please.
stuff, but yeah, it's been like that for a very long time, and I didn't know if it was part of the grounds contract or not, so,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
okay.
It's supposed to be.
Thank you.
Through the chair, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
James, since we're talking about the alleys, is the police department picking up where they left off, with the ordinance going in there?
That's a really good question.
We have Chief Waters.
We'll be able to go back in as soon as the ground gets hard. Right now, the ground's too soft to get all the way back into some of the alleys.
Thank you.
But we had most of them done already.
Yeah, they did a great job in the
Yeah.
fall.
Yeah.
And do we have a plan for, the best example I can give you is Goddard Road, with the gravel that seems to be accumulating along the curbs?
I actually was just talking to our engineers about that this morning. We're gonna have to come up with something because that road, I was on it Saturday night and
It's horrible.
it looks like a rural gravel road right now. It needs some significant work.
Okay.
And I would explain what's going on there, but I'm not even 100% certain I completely understand it yet, based on the explanation I got from John Hennessy. So we are certainly talking about
Very good.
that road.
That's a shame, because it's really not that old.
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of the roads, at the last meeting, I asked you if you could do an update for people watching television on what roads we're planning on doing this year.
So, the roads we currently have, and still subject to change, and we do have Jim Hollinsworth here who can correct me, but the roads we are looking at for this year, we've got Emmons, roughly from Howard to Dix. We have Austin Boulevard from, is it Southfield all the way to Monty?
Yes.
And then Mayflower and Buckingham are on the list for this year.
Okay. then I have a couple of things that have come up 1,000 times, but I'm going to ask you again anyway. The event coordinator, have we gotten anywhere with that?
I believe we had just recently had a couple new applicants to bring in for testing. I don't think they've tested yet, but that'll be the next step for them.
Okay. And last, a personal thing that has become a thing with me, the tree on top of City Hall. The roots are going to tear up our roof even, and it's going to cause some serious damage. It's gotten too big, it must be taken care of.
We'll put in a work order with DPS.
Thank you.
Through the chair, please.
Yes, ma'am.
James, question on the animal shelter. Is it going to be in the same property that the shelter is in now?
Yeah, that's the current design, is essentially building right adjacent to where that building, if you want to call it that, it's going to be right adjacent to that. And you guys will see all the conceptual plans and everything next week, well, 2 weeks.
Question to the chair, I guess.
Yes, sir.
James, first of all, thank you for the updates. I really appreciate that. It's really nice to read all that stuff, and it's nice to see it, because it's easier to remember if it's in writing for me anyways. I appreciate that. It's, you know. Second thing, going back to the alleys, I talked to John, John's not here unfortunately, but I talked to John about Lincoln and Lafayette, where we haven't figured out, we mean in the city, hasn't figured out, and the contractor, who dumped all the gravel back there in that alley. And what happened is it raised the elevation, so the third house in is getting flooded in the backyard. Could you see if DPS could at least grade that and smooth that gravel that's there, so it's kind of an even, it doesn't have a real downplay into the guy's yard? He's kind of like upset about that, because with the thaw and the rain and all that, it kind of goes that way, because now it's been lifted on the front part. And nobody knows who did it, but somebody did it. According to the homeowner in the third house, he said DPS did it, but John doesn't know anybody that went over there and did it. So, but anyways, could they go over there and just smooth that out or something?
Yeah, I'm not certain exactly how wide that alley is, but I'm sure we can get something in there to try and grade it.
And the last thing is I like your idea about recognizing people. I think that's, for their 1-year anniversary, I think that's great. Is there a way that we could make a pin-up or something for 1, 5, 10, 15 years that say anniversary with the city's logo on it or something, and give it to them, and maybe take a picture and put it on the website? Some kind of way of recognizing without, I guess what I'm saying, it goes a long way, the little pin and the little recognition. We do it here, obviously, I'm not saying that. Is there possible we can do something like that, or have somebody design up so we can give it to them and take a picture and put it on our website and recognize these employees?
Honestly, I have some ideas for that in the back of my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm all set.
Anything further from the city manager? Hearing none, then we'll move on to department head report. CDBG, Parks and Recreation, so imagine it's going to fall on you, Dennis. So.
Yeah, most of it will fall on Dennis, but just a quick update on CDBG. So you guys tonight approved the budget. That part will now go into the annual action plan that Joan Hennessy is finishing for us, and then we'll be able to submit that to HUD after the 30-day review, and then we'll be on track to get the next program year going. We do have the position, as I mentioned, we have the position for the CDBG coordinator posted. Still hoping to get some really good candidates. Also, this last week, we were able to submit the semi-annual labor relations report and get that in on time. So we're plugging away. Huge props right now to Lisa Gadwood over at the band shell. She's doing a great job holding it together. And let me know when I need to do something, and trying to keep me in line. So not always an easy task. So for that's pretty much it right now with CDBG. And then
So,
Dennis.
Just a question, how far ranging are our applications going out, or our requests for applications going out for that?
So we've got it posted on all of our normal sites. We blasted it. I think we put it out on Facebook. We've got it on our website through our Applicant Pro, which goes out to, I think, a bunch of different job posting boards. So it's getting where we normally put postings, and maybe we need to find more places, but,
I was just
yeah.
saying that, I mean, when we did the EDC and DDA director, we ended up doing almost like a nationwide search with that. And so are we hitting all those bases with what we're putting out there?
I'll have to check exactly where everything's gone. I just have the surface level on that.
Mr. Anderson, congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I just have a couple of things happening in the department I'd like to go over. The spring summer happenings is going to be going out in the next couple of weeks here. I believe it's supposed to be the next 2 weeks it'll be out. So if you haven't gotten your stuff in, make sure you send it over to Angela ASAP. Our 46th annual ice show will be happening on April 29th, 30th, and May 1st. Tickets are on sale at the community center office. Pre-sale general admission is $5. On-ice seating is $9. I'm working with Councilwoman Tobin on the spring carnival that's going to be happening, and that's set for May 19th through the 22nd. That's a Thursday through a Sunday. Our Kids Club program for the summer will start registrations tomorrow at 9 o'clock, and that's going to run Monday through Thursday from June 20th through August 18th. It'll be 10 a.m. to 1 o'clock again, $35 for residents, $40 for non-residents. As most of you have seen, we've got a new playscape in over at Council Point Park. I was out there today doing inspection of the park, and everything's good to go out there. The mulch is all sprayed in, everything looks good. Memorial Park, we're waiting on the ground to dry up a little bit so that we're not sinking when we walk out there before they'll start the install, but the equipment is here. It's at the DPS yard, so we're just waiting on Mother Nature right now. We're going to set up some park cleanup dates, probably starting in the month of June, on Saturdays, probably every other Saturday. Like I said, I was out in the park today doing an inspection. We actually myself and Austin went out to visit every single park in the city to see how they looked as of right now, if they needed garbage cleaned up, leaves removed, any branches down. So we did do a preliminary inspection, we'll say. Other than that, that's about all I got for right now.
Okay. Anybody have any questions or anything for Dennis?
Through the chair, I just want to say that I'm glad you finally are there. You have done an outstanding job at the ice arena, and I expect nothing less now that you've taken the board.
Thank you.
Through the chair, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, Dennis. I've known you for a long time, and I think you do an excellent job. I mean, you're very conscientious. I know you call me enough times about the park, so I think you do a great job. And just two items. Where are you going to be headquartered at?
So right now, I'm splitting my time. I'm starting every morning at the community center to do the regular stuff that I've normally been doing, and then I run over to the band shell, pick up whatever they have that has to come here, and then I'll be back over at the band shell for a couple hours over there, and then I end the day back over at the community center. It just depends on what's going on. Once we're done with ice show and the ice arena's shutting down for the season, I'll probably be spending more time over at the band shell. Right now, we've got to set up an office for me over there. That's the main thing right now. I don't even have a phone right now over there, so.
That was through the chair, my second question is, as soon as you get your business cards, I want a couple, if not 5 or 10, because that way it's easier for me to pass them out and says, call this guy, he's in charge now. So as soon as you get your business cards, will you throw some in my, will they figure out where you're going to be?
Yep.
Could you throw some in my box or James, because that way it's easier for me to, because we are having a change, obviously, and spring is coming, hopefully. I'm not sure when that's going to happen. But again, congratulations, and you definitely deserve it, but thank you, Your Honor, I'm all set.
Okay. Anything else for Dennis? Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Then we will move on to citizen communications. Okay, I'm not seeing anyone approaching, so then we will move on to oral reports of the mayor and council. Council President Salcido.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, residents of Lincoln Park. I have 3 items. First off, congratulations, Director Anderson. Look forward to working with you in the future. Also, John Myers, he's not here today, but I want to thank him. I had a couple inquiries on signage on a couple of businesses, and he got back with me, and I thank him for that. And finally, happy Easter to everybody. See you in a couple weeks.
That's right.
Good evening.
Sure. Councilman Higgins?
Thank you, sir. Remind everybody, the Easter egg hunt is coming up, and I'm sure that Maureen will be talking more about it later on tonight, but I want to be the first to let all the kids know we're having that Easter hunt again. Please come out and have a good time. I want to congratulate the Pet Care Clinic on Southfield for getting the reward. They have done an outstanding job of taking couple old buildings, putting them together and re-siding and the whole outside of the building. And I can tell you from bringing my old animals in there, they do a wonderful job inside too. And I just want to congratulate them. The CCI who gave them that award, I also want to congratulate them and thank them a lot. They worked on the CBDG budget. They came in a couple of extra nights on their own, and these are our volunteers, and I just want to say thank you to them. They went over and beyond the call, and just want to say thank you. I would like to remind anyone who, if you would like to be involved in the Memorial Day Parade, that you can contact the Hands of the City through our webpage, or if you want the information for the parade, you can see it on LPTV and on the city website now. If you are involved and you want to be in the parade, or if you'd like to help with the parade, we will take you. Thank you.
You all set?
All set.
All set, okay. Councilwoman Tobin.
Good evening, everybody. Dennis, I want to say congratulations. I can't wait to see what you're going to do. I'm looking for great things. I know you'll do well. I also want to thank you for helping with the lights outside of City Hall. That was quite an adventure we had Saturday, so thank you for that. So the Easter egg hunt, like Mr. Higgins announced, is Sunday, April 10th. Starts sharply at 1 o'clock. I mean, at 1 o'clock, because the Easter Bunny waits for nobody. It's a fun event. The kids love it, and I am really happy to have it back this year. Last year, we did a drive-through Easter egg hunt, and it was fun, but it was nothing like seeing those kids go crazy. So bring your kids out, bring your grandkids out. It's going to be a fun time. Cinco de Mayo, April 30th, from noon till 7th. It's going to be on O'Connor Street between Fort Street and Electric Avenue, a little bit down the alley there. We have some great entertainment. We have vendors, crafters, food trucks. We have the Folkloria Ballet coming. We have a mariachi band, and we have the Santana Project will be playing for us that night. So it's going to be fun. Come out and support your local vendors, their businesses. We'll have some great stuff for you. We are still taking applications for vendors and food and crafters for Downriver Cruise, which is June 24th and 25th. We have a great lineup for that weekend. Saturday, we're having a Battle of the Bands, and with Mr. Higgins' help, we are also going to showcase some students from A&R Music. So it's going to be a real fun time. Come on out for that. Same with Art in the Park, July 29th and 30th. Great lineup. Looking for vendors, crafters, and food trucks, so give us a holler. We'll be happy to accommodate you. And also, don't forget, April 18th, get some snow cones, ice cones. Kona Ice will be here thanking us for being part of our city, so give them a big thank you back. And that's all I have.
Very good. Councilwoman Ross?
Thank you, Your Honor. Just a quick reminder about the Lincoln Park Heritage Plaza pavers. We're getting close to the deadline. We've got 2 weeks left. April 16th is the deadline for orders. Your 4x8 brick allows you 3 lines of personalization for $100. The 8x8 brick is 6 lines, and it is $150. The museum does have the access to credit cards, so you can pay by credit card now. And if you need any more information, please email the Lincoln Park Museum at gmail.com. And I too want to congratulate Dennis Anderson and our employees with anniversaries this month. I think we have a great group of employees, we really do. And we do have, I think, about a dozen employment opportunities. So if you know anyone looking for a job, have them check out the website. Thank you.
And Councilwoman Dupre?
I wanted to say, Dennis, congratulations. I look forward to working with you some more. And as you mentioned earlier, we are planning to do some volunteer park cleanups this summer, starting in June. And once we get our schedule, we will be requesting volunteers. It's actually fun to come out, and we usually get a good group of people. And I just want to say how happy I am we're moving forward with the animal shelter. It's so near and dear to my heart. So with that, I'll say good night and God bless.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilman Kelsey?
Thank you, Your Honor. Just a couple housekeeping issues, I guess, for the city manager. Coming down to the city council meeting, I was driving down 4th Street going north, and the county evidently felt that taking the rubble or the broken asphalt was too much to put in a truck, and they threw it on the grass. You'll find a bunch of pieces. It's right by, not too far from Emmons going north. You see a bunch of rubble, like broken asphalt. They just threw it on the, so if you could be so kind as to maybe call and remind them to at least put the stuff in the pickup truck or the dump truck when they leave, I appreciate it. The other issue is, we have a lot of group homes in the city, and I've got one by my house, and the only question I got, because John Myers is working on whether or not they're up to code and so on and so forth, but evidently there's a problem between, maybe Ed can answer this, between the state and the city. Who makes sure that those people are well taken care of? Because God love them, I talked to a couple of them, and they're always asking for money, or they're coming down. They're not disrespectful, I'm not saying that, but who's making sure they got food and stuff like that? Or who's responsible, I guess, is what I'm asking.
Well, Lyra gives that to the Department of Health and Human Services with the state, but complaints should be filed through the city. We've battled with them for years and years from the late 70s with group homes. The city's preempted. However, the city can enforce other requirements, and you recall the incident we had with the fire department that discovered an improper group home several years ago, and the city will move forward. So you should due diligence, make a report to City Hall, or make it to the police department, contact the state.
All right, I'll do that. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, City Manager. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm all set. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Congratulations, Dennis. I'm sure that you'll do a great job for us. You already have, but just continue on. Easter egg hunt, remember, which will be this coming Sunday at 1 p.m. Time Out Teddy, who is the spokesbearer for the Child Abuse Prevention Program, will be there, as well as the Easter Bunny. And with that, just wish everyone out there a happy Easter, and I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
Clerk, call the roll.
Councilperson Salcido?
Yes.
Tobin?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Higgins?
Yes.
Kelsey?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Mayor Cox?
Yes.